Now at 11, the snow is no longer falling, but we're still feeling the impact. VDOT says don't drive unless you have to. Crews have been working around the clock, but ice and packed snow are creating dangerous driving conditions. School closings are still coming in tonight. They are scrolling at the bottom of your screen and on WAVY.com. We've got you covered from the south side of the peninsula. Then on your side's Andy Fox, live in Portsmouth. Jason Marks is in Virginia Beach, and Deanna LeBlanc is working Newport News. But we have to start with the man in the corner, Chief Meteorologist Don Slater. Don, everyone wants to know how this is affecting our roads, not only tonight, but tomorrow morning.
And really, it's going to continue past tomorrow morning and on into Saturday, because I do not see the temperatures really rising until we get to the weekend. We are stuck with this stuff. Now, we've got a great bird's eye view of what we're dealing with, just to give you an idea of what's going to be happening. Now, the interstates are just fine. They're really been well traveled and well salted. However, some of these entrance and exit ramps, they are obviously on an incline, and there's sort of snow packed up there. And some of the water, melting snow, can leak onto that and go down the hill, and of course freeze on and create some black ice there. So you want to watch out for that. Underpasses too can contain some frozen roads as well. So that's what's going on with that. We get to the secondary roads, but these are the main drags through our neighborhoods. Hampton Boulevard in Norfolk, London Boulevard in Portsmouth, Virginia Beach Boulevard in Norfolk and Virginia Beach, Jefferson Avenue. These are being plowed tonight. Now, during the day today, they were plowed once. However, they really turned into ice and or slush. That's going to refreeze during the overnight hours. I do expect some of this stuff to be refreezing on overnight a little bit, but I think things will improve tomorrow as again, some of these roads get plowed. Plowing residential streets, it's not going to happen. I don't care where you've lived before. If you've had residential streets plowed, it's not going to happen here. We just don't have the infrastructure or the reason to do so. But look at these tire tracks right there. These are solid sheet ice. Look at that. That's solid sheet ice. The snow that he just drove through offers a little more traction than some of this ice in your neighborhood. And really, when you're looking out your front window at the street in front of your house, it's going to be there through Saturday. Let's go and we'll show you what's going on in terms of those roads. Remembering the trouble spots. Yeah, of course everything's going to remain frozen. You know that. This neighborhood's going to remain snow covered. Interstates are heavily treated and likely to be okay. But the main in-town roads are a problem tonight, and they could still be a problem tomorrow. It's not going to rise much above freezing tomorrow, and it's going to be way below freezing over the next several days. Past that, you'll really want to see what I'm covering in terms of temperatures by Friday. I'll tell you about it in just a few minutes.
On the south side, Chopper 10 flew over Norfolk earlier. Lots of snow-covered houses and roads. City offices were closed today, but they'll reopen tomorrow morning at 10. Public schools, they're also closed in Norfolk and Portsmouth. Secondary road cleanup is happening tonight and into tomorrow morning. It is a big job, as you can see. Then on your side's Andy Fox joins us live in Portsmouth. How are the roads here, Andy?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. And Don was talking about in-town roads, these secondary roads. We were in Norfolk all day, but Norfolk is very much like Portsmouth. These secondary roads, like the ones we're on, you can still see ice down here. They have not been treated. And until they do get them treated, the schools won't be able to reopen because the buses won't be able to get on these roads. So that is going to be a top priority beginning tomorrow morning, late tonight, but mostly tomorrow. That will be a real big issue. Today was a day where we found a lot of drivers getting stuck. Look at Chesapeake Boulevard 2 days into this, a sheet of ice. It's glistening, dangerous, and Lamont Cooper knows it.
It's really bad out here. Seen a couple of fender benders, seen a couple of people slide into each other, man, it's horrible.
Also on Chesapeake Boulevard, in the same block, 2 stuck cars. Kevin Hepburn stuck twice.
I was very frustrated because I got stuck over there the first time, and I got some help, and I decided to come around this way.
And got stuck again. Halfway down the block, Sylvia Whitaker doesn't want to show her face.
This is very frustrating, and then for the fact that we might have to go to work in this tomorrow.
Go, get out. After a lot of pushing, we helped get Sylvia back on clean road.
We got it.
Do me a favor, get out of here. Okay. Norfolk's finest helped push Bob Clark. He drove all the way from Durham, North Carolina, just to get stuck.
I've left Duke University Medical School this morning.
And what?
This is the only place, seriously, this is the only place that ain't been plowed. It's the only place with snow. I'm not joking at all.
Crazy time on Ocean View Hill. It's a tradition.
Some place that everyone knows that they can all come together, have fun, be family with each other. We all grew up in this area.
In Ocean View, everyone gets a turn on the hill. And just next to the hill, the beach, sand peeking through the snow, calling spring to come quickly. Yeah, come quickly indeed. I've been in this town since 1986. That's the first time I've ever been to Ocean View Hill, and it's been a great day. A lot of people out enjoying the weather, but also very treacherous for drivers. And again, tomorrow morning, these secondary roads, they've got to get these things clear before they get the kids back to school. That will be #1 priority in all the cities in Hampton Roads. In Portsmouth, Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
And here is your bird's eye view from Chopper 10 over Virginia Beach. Public schools are closed again tomorrow. Roads crews still have a lot of work to do here on the secondaries. They've already used about 800 tons of sand and salt. You can see they were pretty busy today. 10 of your size, Jason Marks is live in Virginia Beach. So how's it look tonight?
Well, Tom, it seems to be the theme of the night. The biggest concern for Public Works tonight is this snow refreezing. Take a look at Silverleaf Drive and Independence Boulevard, and this is what they're worried about. You take a look at stuff like this over here. Now, this right here has obviously been driven over. You can mash it up, but what we're worried about is it refreezing into a sheet of ice overnight, making it very hard for drivers.
For the most part, the people that we've seen have been real cautious.
Slow and steady seemed to be the order Tuesday for drivers in Virginia Beach. And now the sun has gone down, and there are dangers that can't be seen.
It's starting to refreeze, and for the most part, the interstate looks good, but the neighborhood roads are still pretty bad.
The sun melted a lot of the ice during the day.
Rocket back and forth.
But that didn't help drivers from getting stuck. And once it got dark,
all right, you ready to get out?
Things only got that much harder. This car got stuck coming off of Rosemont Road.
How tough is it to drive on something like this?
Well, it's really tough because the black ice is everywhere now compared to when it was dry. But we're making it.
It was the second car Janine Highsmith and her daughter Kayla shoveled out.
It's tough out here, and this is not fun stuff. You can't shovel ice.
And it's exactly what the roads have become. It's also why Highsmith won't get behind the wheel.
I listened to the media when they say stay home. I stayed home. Yep, in my PJs all day. And still in them.
Tyler Trask is only out because it's his birthday. He just hopes none of the drivers around him do anything stupid.
Well, hopefully I'm not that idiot, but no, we've been taking it slow.
Yeah, and slow and steady, that's the order of the day, as we just said. Now take a look at this. I just want to give you a comparison real quick. You can see this right here. This is all white, and you know that that's going to be ice. You're going to be able to see it. When we talk about black ice, if you take a look at this area right here, it looks like pavement. It's actually wet, and in a little while that will turn into ice, and that's something you just can't see. So that's what we're talking about when we mention black ice. Very dangerous for your morning commute. Obviously, you're going to want to tune into our morning show starting at 4 for any updates. Now, I can tell you the neighborhood roads are just a nightmare. They are just a mess, and that's why here in Virginia Beach there is no school tomorrow. That's the latest here in the beach. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
Both Jason and Andy giving us a sense of how frustrated drivers are in those areas in Chesapeake. Watch this. A woman on Portsmouth Boulevard tries to get into a turn lane. Our crew had to help her back out and get her on her way. And at the same intersection, this Chesapeake police officer tries to push a stuck SUV over the hump. That didn't work. So he got out and gave it some good old-fashioned elbow grease, and voila, success. Consider the peninsula, which saw the most snow in our area, so getting back up to speed there could be challenging. Offices for the city of Hampton are opening 2 hours later tomorrow. The primary roads are passable, but the secondary ones still snow-covered and also very icy tonight. Public schools, they are closed as well in Hampton tomorrow. 10 of your size, Deanna LeBlanc, is live in Newport News, where schools are also closed tomorrow. How are the roads there, Deanna?
Well, Tom, you used the word passable. Even in the last hour, this is Jefferson Boulevard. It is getting better and better. We have seen crews make several generous passes with their sand and salt spreaders, but that still leads to that black ice problem. It's melting that slush. You can see some of the water gathering on the side of the road. That is what everyone's worried about, freezing over as we go into these overnight hours and making rough travel tomorrow morning for the commute. Never mind the white ice that we're seeing on secondary roads. Let's show you Orchid Ave on the Hampton-Newport News line. You can see it is just a sheet of ice. Drivers having a really hard time getting around there, and that's kind of a main thoroughfare that feeds off into several neighborhoods. A lot of people live back that way, having a tough time. Some people even trying to shovel out late at night as this snow is just getting heavier as it's getting colder and that ice is still present. Take a listen to what one driver had to say about all of this.
For the most part, the main roads are good. It's the secondary roads that's the problem. So they got to get on that ASAP.
What are you seeing on the secondary
I mean,
roads?
a lot of ice, a lot of snow, you know, a lot of stuck cars and stuff like that. So for the most part, if the secondary roads get taken care of, we'll be all right as a community.
And that's exactly right. Once those secondary roads get clearer, hopefully schools will be back open, but no school tomorrow in Hampton or in Newport News. That's the latest from the peninsula. I'm Deanna LeBlanc, 10 on your side.